That was President Trump speaking at the United Nations during a press conference just ending now.
President Trump was asked if he's ready for a long impeachment process, and he believes it's already dead.
Let's take a live look at the U.S. Capitol building where an impeachment inquiry is underway. President Donald Trump says he supports a full transparency on a whistleblower's complaint about his dealings with Ukraine minutes after it was delivered to Capitol Hill.
Nicole Killian is at the White House with more.
As the UN General Assembly drew to a close, President Trump held a news conference addressing his call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
I fully support transparency on the so-called whistleblower information. No pressure, no nothing. It's all a hoax, folks. It's all a big hoax.
The two leaders met for the first time Wednesday afternoon after a partial transcript showed the president suggested Ukraine investigate the Bidens.
Nobody pushed me.
He told Zelensky, the other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that, so whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. President Trump also said the Attorney General and his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, would follow up. CBS News has confirmed that before the call summary was released, congressional Republicans viewed it here at the White House and discussed the contents in a conference call with the president.
Naming any president, should they have to release the transcripts of every conversation they have with another world leader? The answer should be no.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff says he doesn't want to get ahead of the investigations, but he believes the partial transcript is damning.
It is shocking at another level that the White House would release these notes and felt that somehow this would help the president's case.
This afternoon, the whistleblower's complaint was delivered to the House and Senate Intelligence Committees for review. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph Maguire batted down news reports that he threatened to resign his post, saying, "I have never quit anything in my life, and I'm not going to start now." He will testify about the whistleblower complaint on Capitol Hill tomorrow. A tornado ripped through western Wisconsin Tuesday night, damaging homes and vehicles near the Chippewa-Dunn county line.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joins us now with more. This goes to show, Dave, that severe weather in Wisconsin can happen at any time.
Yeah, Mark and Charlotte, just the fact that it's fall doesn't really matter sometimes to Mother Nature. That was the case near Eau Claire Tuesday night as a tornado struck near Elk Mound shortly before 8 p.m. You can see the damage here. Debris down power lines and tree branches litter the ground in the town of Wheaton. At least 3 semi-trailers overturned along Wisconsin Highway 29 northeast of Elk Mound last night as well. A few people suffered minor injuries as a result of the storms, according to local law enforcement. Now, I spoke with National Weather Service meteorologists today, and they have just within the last hour or so given the tornado a preliminary rating of EF3. Now, most tornado activity across the state is typically during June, July, and August. September tornadoes, not unheard of. Wisconsin typically averages about 2 tornadoes every September. Last year, 2 September tornadoes were confirmed in Pierce County, about an hour west of where Tuesday's tornado moved through. Now, what is rare this late in the season, Mark and Charlotte, is the strength of this tornado. The number of EF tornadoes that have hit Wisconsin in September, you can count it on one hand, 5 since 1950.
And earlier in the month, usually.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, unusual indeed. All right, Dave, thank you. A group of children in Fitchburg tipped off firefighters this morning of a fire in an apartment building. Around 8 o'clock this morning, the Fitchburg Fire Department responded to an apartment building in the 4500 block of Thurston Lane, that's near Marlboro Park. 2 kids had seen smoke coming from the building and called 911. The second floor of the building was heavily damaged, and the 2 apartments below have a lot of water damage. Firefighters say the building did not have a sprinkler system. The cause is still under investigation. The person responsible for committing a string of sexual assaults in downtown Madison over the last week has been arrested. Madison Police Chief Mike Koval said at a press conference today that 26-year-old Luis Ruiz Ugalde is the suspect. He was arrested Monday by the Violent Crimes Unit. Jamie Perez joins us live with more information about these sexual assaults that have happened around the area. Jamie, can you tell us more about what happened?
Police Chief Mike Koval actually called him a predator of the worst kind. Now, there were a lot of sexual assaults reported, one of them happening right here where I'm standing on East Main Street. Now, there were several reports incidents reported, as I said, one of them happening at Howard Place last Tuesday around 5:30, where the suspect went into someone's home and tried to commit a sexual assault. The woman inside woke up and yelled at him, and he then left. The second happening last Friday around 8 p.m. in the 400 block of Patterson, where he ran up to a woman and groped her behinds, then ran off. The third happening Sunday around 6:30. He was seen by a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old masturbating on the back of a Metro bus before trying to sexually assault one of them. The last happened around 9:30 that same night when a woman reported a man attacking her on East Main Street after he had been following her for a while. Now, Koval said the 11-year-old involved in the Metro bus incident that night took a photo of him because her parents told her that if she ever encountered someone that she thought was creepy, to take a picture. Koval gave a special remark this afternoon to thank this 11-year-old for helping them so much and getting this guy off the streets.
And in fact, in the encounter which occurred on this bus, an 11-year-old who had the presence of mind to have that vibe, to have that feeling, and to remember and hearken back to those parental instructions proved to be very instrumental to us.
Koval said there could be more victims involved who just have not come forward at this point. Right now, tentative charges for him include burglary, fourth-degree sexual assault, battery, and attempted second-degree sexual assault. Police also say that he is a person of interest for a string of other recent crimes committed downtown, but right now they don't have enough probable cause to arrest him in those cases. I'll have more information for you on this coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 5.
Jamie Perez reporting live for us downtown Madison. Thank you.
New at 4, police in Lake Delton are looking for a suspect they say tried to rob the pharmacy inside a Walmart. Officers say just before 10:30 this morning, they got a call about a man demanding narcotics from the pharmacy at the Walmart on Commerce Street. Witnesses say the man never displayed a weapon. Anyone with information related to the case is asked to call the Lake Delton Police Department at 608-254-7571. And we'll be right back.
On Wall Street, stocks posted positive numbers on optimism over a positive China trade deal. The Dow Industrials added 162 points, closing at 26,970. The Nasdaq was up 83. The S&P 500 gained 18. Well, according to the Alzheimer's Association, the disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States.
And more than 16 million Americans provide unpaid care for people with the disease. News 3 Now is sponsoring the upcoming Walk to End Alzheimer's. Hannah Moronk, Community Engagement Manager for Alzheimer's Association, and Joanne O'Malley, a team captain, joins us now. Welcome to Live at 4, ladies.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
So, doing some research, the numbers, the statistics are quite startling. 50 million people worldwide suffer from this, but then just alone in the United States, 5.8 million.
Yeah, and here in Dane County, there's actually 7,000 people living with an official diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia.
And we don't really know what causes it?
No, unfortunately not.
And is there a road for a cure? Of course, there's always a hope for that, but where are they in this process?
Yeah, definitely. There is a lot of research going on in correlation to blood pressure or things of other sorts, and a lot of the dollars that we raise actually go towards national and local research as well.
I was going to ask you, where does the money go that you raise?
Yeah, so a good portion of it goes towards research, and then another good portion goes towards helping us provide care support programs and things of that sort for families that are affected here in Dane County.
All right, and Joanne, you have a team called Team Wolfgang.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us about Team Wolfgang?
Sure. So Wolfgang, my husband started a nickname years ago for my dad. He used to call him Wolfgang, and it just kind of stuck with our family. So when we started our team, it was meant to be Team Wolfgang.
So why is this important to you? Why'd you get involved?
So my dad was diagnosed about 6 years ago, and he was owned a business for 40 years and a prominent member of the community that he owned his business in. So it's important to us to raise funds and awareness.
And what was it like caring for him over those years?
So my mom is his sole caregiver still now today, and it's hard. It's taken a huge toll on her. She spends I'd say 100% of her time, caring for him, and doesn't get many breaks for herself. So.
What is it like for you to see your dad turn into somebody different?
It's very hard. It's been very hard. Like I said, he was always someone we could turn to, whether we needed advice for home improvements, finances, help with our vehicles. So it's difficult to see how this disease has affected him.
So how do people get involved? I mean, I understand a $100 shirt you can get?
Yeah, so we encourage fundraising, but the event itself is free, so people can come and join us just to raise awareness for the walk. But if you raise $100, you actually get one of the shirts I'm wearing. So our biggest slogan is joining us for our first survivor. And so we always encourage people, like I said, to do some fundraising. Actually, Team Wolfgang is our top fundraising team this year so far, raising almost $12,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is it tough to raise that kind of money?
This is the 4th year that we've sold mums, and we sold 1,000 mums in 2 days. So we were able to donate a good portion of that, 12,000, from selling the mums.
Okay, and the walk is Sunday, October 6th?
Yep, Sunday, October 6th at Memorial High School.
And you also have one in Beloit this weekend.
Yep, this weekend, Saturday, September 28th at Riverside Park in Beloit.
So you can just show up, you don't have to pre-register?
We do recommend you to pre-register. You can do that at alz.org/walk. Otherwise, like I said, you can also show up the morning of and join us.
Important cause.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great turnout.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing what you
Thank
do.
you.
both of you.
Thanks for being with us
Thank you.
today. All right, now let's take a look at this. Watch an Ohio prison inmate get a contraband delivered from a drone.
Oh, you're kidding.
It was caught on camera in an outdoor recreation area of the county jail there. The inmate can be seen watching the skies before the drop is made, and although the drone missed its mark, the inmate was able to collect the package. The sheriff's office says it contained marijuana and a cell phone. An investigation has been launched into the drone-related incident. We'll be right back with a look at your forecast.
few clouds hanging on today, but otherwise not too bad outside. Mostly cloudy sky for us currently in Madison. A few spots where the sun's poking out. Again, just not a lot of sunshine today. Temperature-wise, we're closer to average. 71 currently in Madison with those dew points in the upper 40s, so it just feels so comfortable outside. A little bit of a breeze, though, coming from the west-northwest, about 9 miles per hour currently. Anywhere from 10 to 20 possible, though, through the rest of the afternoon and evening. Our Doppler track is quiet. We're going to have a dry evening and a dry night. Thursday's not looking too bad either, as that cold front is now well off to the east, and high pressure is keeping things pretty calm throughout the northern plains and Midwest. Now, we are sandwiched between this high pressure and low pressure, so that's why we're having a little stronger breeze from the northwest today. It'll calm down a little more for tomorrow afternoon. Won't be nearly as windy outside. Again, tonight things should stay pretty clear and calm. It'll be a little cool to start off the day tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get a little more sunshine once some of these clouds start to pull away. A mostly sunny sky for Thursday, but by Friday, our next chance for showers is going to creep on in. We may have some stronger thunderstorms, a little bit of rain accumulation adding up, especially for the southeast corner of the state for Friday. We'll get a break on Saturday, and then a lot of rain expected heading into the start of next week. Our breeze coming from the west-northwest. It'll shift overnight, become a little more westerly, southwesterly flow. For Thursday morning, our temperatures will be near 50 early in the day. So a little cool early on, and then in the afternoon, plan on highs close to 70, but closer to the upper 60s for most of southern Wisconsin. A southern breeze for Friday, so our temperatures climb up just a little more. We'll only fall to the mid to upper 50s for our overnight lows. And then by Friday afternoon, again, those shower chances popping on up. The cloud coverage will kind of stop our temperatures from climbing too much, but we could have some stronger thunderstorms mixed in for Friday. Some heavier rainfall certainly possible. So we have an alert day in the forecast for Friday. Those thunderstorms could bring anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain. So flooding in those very wet areas, the isolated spots, lower lying areas where we usually see flooding, certainly possible for Friday. We also have alert days in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because by the end of next Wednesday, some of these rainfall totals could be anywhere from 2 to 3, even 4 inches of accumulation. So a lot of rain expected to come in for the start of next week. So alert days in the forecast again for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with the chance for showers and thunderstorms each day and heavy rainfall possible for each day. At least 1 inch to 2 inches really adds up quickly. So by next Wednesday, we could have quite a saturated state heading into the middle of next week. Overnight temperatures falling to about 50. Overall, a mostly clear sky. These clouds steadily clearing on out of here. It's going to be a little cooler early in the day tomorrow. And then afternoon highs for Thursday will be in the upper 60s. Again, the breeze won't be nearly as much tomorrow. West-southwest, anywhere from 8 to 15 miles per hour. We're looking at a mostly sunny sky for Thursday. Just a little cooler outside, but still pretty seasonal with those temperatures in the upper 60s. So our 7-day forecast, of course, includes those temperatures in the upper 60s for Thursday and Friday. Friday, the alert day is for some isolated flooding concerns. Saturday, we actually have a little dry day. It'll be a little cool outside, but the thunderstorm chances develop Saturday night into Sunday, and the rain stays with us. An unsettled pattern through the start of next week with alert days for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, due to the possibility of some very heavy rainfall accumulating very quickly over the next several days. We again are already well above average for the month of September. Well above average for our rainfall for the year, so this is something that we do not need right now, and we certainly don't need the stronger storms coming through either. Take advantage of these nice dry days, because right now it doesn't look like we're going to have very many of them, unfortunately.
Those rain totals look like snow totals.
Right. Those numbers are just a little bit too high, especially 3 days in a row when we're seeing totals anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches per day. Adds up very quickly.
All right, keep an eye on things.
Yep,
Dana,
absolutely.
thank you. Well, work and finances are the top sources of stress for most people.
But new research shows many Americans say they are stressed out over politics, and they believe it's affecting their mental and physical health. Katherine Johnson has more.
Caitlin Rick says these politically tense times really have an impact on her. Do politics stress you out?
Right now, yes.
With 24-hour access to news and social media, politics are everywhere. Now, new research from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln suggests Americans are making themselves sick over politics.
Everything from stress and loss of sleep to damaged friendship to even thoughts of suicide because of politics.
Political scientist Kevin Smith authored the study, which analyzed a sample of American adults. 38% say politics are stressing them out. 20% say they're losing sleep. 11.5% report politics negatively affects their physical health.
1 in 4 said that they had lost a friend. Similar numbers sort of said that they had experienced problems at work or difficulty staying away from political websites.
Researchers also say younger people who consider themselves more liberal are more likely to report stress.
When you're talking specifically about seeing rants online that you're having a hard time with, walk away from it. Take some deep breaths. Do what you need to do to physically calm your body down.
The American Psychological Association conducts a Stress in America survey each year, which also finds politics are a stressor for many. Dr. Lynn Bufka says it's critical to find ways to cope.
Decide how much you want to be exposed to that. And this is true for any stressor.
Caitlin says she manages stress as best she can.
I discuss it with people. I join the groups with other people feeling the same way.
Experts say a good diet, exercise, sleep, and healthy relationships are also good stress relievers. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, Washington.
Researchers also found 29% of people surveyed said they have lost their temper because of politics.
I can believe that.
Absolutely. Up next, remember the man in central Wisconsin who lived in a bunker for years hiding from the law? He was accused of sexually assaulting his daughter.
Now his daughter is speaking out for the first time. We'll hear from her when Live at 4 continues. Here's a live look at Lake Mendota, UW campus. The clouds hanging on this Wednesday afternoon. Last month, a man accused of repeatedly sexually assaulting his daughter was found hiding in a bunker in central Wisconsin.
He had been there since 2016 until he was arrested by officers in August. Now the victim, Allie Button, is sharing her story. Naomi Knowles reports.
I've been going through this since before I had memories.
This is Allie Button at 5 years old. It's the first time she remembers being sexually assaulted.
When I was younger, it was maybe once or twice a week.
And this is Allie 8 years later when she reported the ongoing abuse.
By the end, it would be 2 to 5 times a week.
Her father, Jeremiah Button, pleaded guilty on September 20th to repeatedly sexually assaulting Allie.
He would always use my pets against me, saying if I didn't do what he wanted to, he'd take one of my cats down the road and throw him out the window. And they were really the things that kept me quiet because I cared about them more than anything else at that age.
Jamie Button is Allie's mother and Jeremiah's ex-wife.
He wasn't very social. He always went shopping at the dump, as he would call it. So to live off of the land and to be able to thrive, that is someone who he is.
She left him soon after he was convicted of possession of child porn in 2005.
He never did anything by mistake. He always planned everything.
Allie spent half her time with each parent, and Jamie says she had no idea what was happening.
He'd tell me that if I didn't live at my mom's anymore, I could have a horse, or he'd get me a bunny. He'd provide me and my friends with drugs and alcohol.
Allie reported in 2014. Button was released on bail later that year and then disappeared just weeks before his jury trial in 2016 to this bunker he created.
It was devastating when he went missing. We relocated her to my sister's house. She had moved recently, so he didn't know where she lived.
I spent my childhood trying to survive and my teenage years looking over my shoulder constantly.
Allie recently graduated high school and moved out of state because he was still missing, and the distance made her feel safer.
One of the places I worked, I couldn't go outside ever by myself. They didn't want me going missing or something.
On October 10th, Allie will read a victim impact statement in court before he is sentenced.
I think I can do this for myself. Because when I was younger, I needed somebody to believe in, and it turned out that had to be myself. Putting him away will make it a bit easier.
Today, Allie is rebuilding her life on her own, and Jeremiah Button doesn't define her story. She overcame the drugs and bad influences that she says her father pushed her into, as well as suicidal thinking.
I'm great at art.
And while she's still working to heal, she says part of that will come just through sharing her story, like this.
I want to show people what it was like to go through what I went through. And I want to teach people who haven't gone through it that this is something that happens and it's really bad.
Allie's story isn't over. She wants to write a book for other survivors who can find help through her story.
Now, as a general rule, we protect the identity of sexual assault victims, but by not naming them. But in this case, Allie Button is choosing to come forward and share her story openly in the hope that it can help others. What a brave young woman. What she's been through, it's amazing. Well, still to come at 4, it's apple season in Wisconsin, and if you're looking for some great apple recipes, you've come to the right place.
Nutritionist Donna Weihoffen with an assistant, her grandson Brandon, have some tasty apple recipes to share when Live at 4 continues.
No major accidents to report right now, which of course is always good news. Most of 39 and 90 actually looks okay. The Beltline a little slow on the east and westbound side. The closer you get to Gammon Road, up to, of course, the 50s and 60s. But as you get a little closer to 151, they slow down on the eastbound side. Speeds right now anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. On the westbound side, also seeing speeds down to about 20 to 30 and then picking back up once you get past Fish Hatchery Road. Again, 39 to 90 looking okay. Downtown Janesville really doesn't look too bad either at this time. To get from Janesville to the Beltline will be about 27 minutes. From Sauk City to Middleton, 16 minutes. And the drive from Sun Prairie to downtown, it's gotten just a little longer. It'll be about 20 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
It is wheels up in China, where the capital has opened its new airport. This will be the scene for passengers touching down on Beijing's Dashing International. The design was inspired by the phoenix, a flaming bird spreading its wings as a symbol of renewal. It's Beijing's second international airport, and it will handle 45 million passengers a year, eventually reaching more than 70 million.
That is spectacular.
Well, you know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We are right in the middle of the fall apple season here in southern Wisconsin.
Nutritionist Donna Wyhoffen and her grandson Brandon are here with some recipes and an experiment. You know, kids take apples to school and lunch. It's a whole apple, they end up in the trash.
They absolutely,
you got to cut them up.
Right, you have to cut them up. What happens if you cut them up?
They get brown.
Okay, can you tell us about the experiment we did?
So we took a bunch of different apples and we cut them up, left them for about a day. And then we saw how brown they got, and we noticed that some got more brown than others. And that's because there's a certain enzyme in the apples that when it's exposed to oxygen, turns brown. And also another thing is the iron in them starts to rust when exposed to the oxygen and the water of the apple.
All right, Professor, how do we keep them going brown?
There's a lot of things.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree here, does it, Donna? Okay, yeah, so what can you do?
Well, there's a couple of ways. One thing that we used to do was lemon juice. New one that we've tried is actually Sprite.
Sprite?
Sprite? Put Sprite in the bag?
Because if you put lemon juice on apples, they taste funny, and kids aren't going to eat them. So we put Sprite in this bag, just a little bit of Sprite, and these have been sitting all day, and you can see, and even the ones that got brown stayed okay.
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay. And then...
So the Granny Smith looks like the best?
Yes, this is actually called Ginger Gold. It's a type of a Granny Smith, but it's called Ginger Gold. But look at how white it is compared to some of the others. It's just amazing.
And what's the bad one here?
What is this one?
That's Macintosh and the Red Delicious. Really brown quickly.
What's this deal?
I do this with my youngest.
So I didn't open it up yet. I put a rubber band around an apple that I cut the core out of. And this is one that did get really brown, and it just got slightly brown because the air still was, you know, maybe we could have wrapped it in foil also. But this does help to put the rubber band around it. We have to prevent the air exposure, right?
Yeah.
And apples are so good for you.
Yeah.
They are. They've got all kinds of phytonutrients in it. One is quercetin, which is a cancer fighter, which you usually don't think of. But we also put apples in, what else did we make, Brandon?
We made cookies and muffins.
And
Don't mind if I do.
And the cookies, this wasn't in the recipe, but we added it to make them really special. I don't know if you've ever seen salted caramels.
Salted caramel chips?
Yes, and we put that in an apple.
She's going right for the chip.
And we put that in the apple.
Quality assurance here, that's all.
Yeah.
That made the apple cookie much, much better. So that was really good.
And what's this?
And this is, oh, you're going to love this. This is apple butternut squash soup. I don't know if it's Brandon's favorite or not, but it's wonderful soup. It's made with a butternut squash, and it has apple in it. It has a little bit of maple syrup in it. It has a little bit of cumin in it, and a touch of brandy. So,
yes, I'll have seconds.
Donna.
there isn't much left.
This is very good. This is a good fall.
It is.
Stick to your ribs.
How do you make the squash?
You put it in the microwave, or else you're going to kill yourself, because you have to soften it first. If you want to try to cut into this, it is so dangerous. Put it in the microwave, soften it, then peel it, and then cut it up. But
do you have to poke holes in it?
Yeah, poke holes in it.
Okay,
it might
before,
explode. Yeah,
okay.
Poke holes.
See?
Dangerous operation here.
But look at the goods you get from all of this. This is great.
And then I used my immersion blender, cooked it, immersion blender, like that, and added a maple syrup, brandy.
Is any apple, do you have a preference for this?
Well, yes, more of a tart apple. I would do a Granny Smith in this one, probably.
That's very good.
Yeah, it is an excellent soup. So Brandon and I was a good experiment, wasn't it, Brandon?
Yeah.
We really picked out the apples.
Did you guys get to this one, or was I busy going through chips?
She just said both.
We made muffins, and the muffins have a streusel on top. That makes it special. Walnuts and chips and cinnamon and nutmeg always go with apples.
Yeah, it's a great time of year for apples.
I know, it's so good.
What is your favorite apple, though?
I'll ask Brandon.
Honeycrisp.
Me too.
I'm with you.
I have one every day.
Yeah, you
Keeps
do,
doctor
don't you?
away.
At 2 o'clock.
He has it scheduled.
Did you have one today?
I did.
You did. Oh my
All right, all
God.
the recipes online, channel3000.com. Brandon, good job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great
Keep up the good
job.
work. All right, Donna.
Thank
See you
you.
next
You're
time.
welcome. Bye.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Got to be part of the Clean Plate Club here.
Clouds hanging in there.
They really are. We aren't getting a lot of sunshine today. It's kept our temperatures in the lower 70s. Still pleasant outside. No rain threat for us right now. Here's a live look at downtown. Again, a few clouds, but no shower chances for us. They've just been sliding over southern Wisconsin. Looking at our Doppler track, notice there are a few showers well off to the northwest, some wraparound moisture, but we're going to stay nice and dry through this evening. Compared to this time yesterday, it's a big drop at our temperatures. 13-degree drop for the Dells in Camp Douglas. That means we're in the mid-60s around the Dells, 71 currently in Madison, 72 in Janesville. So it's pretty comfortable outside. The other big factor, of course, those dew points are in the 40s, which means it feels delightful. Now, overnight will stay nice and dry. Heading into tomorrow, plan on another dry and sunny day. Thankfully, we'll get the sunshine back. It'll be just a little cooler outside. Plan on temperatures staying in the 60s. And while tomorrow will be dry, we'll start to see some shower chances develop overnight, and that's going to kick off a bit of an unsettled pattern heading into next week. We'll have a lot of rain coming on through, so we'll be keeping a close eye, of course, on those isolated areas that tend to be prone to flooding by the start of next week and into the middle of next week, too, with that rain.
All right, keep an eye on it. Thank you, Dana.
Tomorrow and live at 4, Sports Director Jay Wilson previews the Packers-Eagles game from Lambeau.
And the Madison Firefighters 2020 calendar is out. This annual tradition is a benefit for the Dane County Humane Society. It's coming up. This guy's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
We're right back.
Today's Final Touch will leave you on pins and needles.
Pins mostly. This artisan